KORK North Bay, your source for news and happenings throughout the North Bay.
Hello and thanks for watching KORK North Bay TV. Coming up is our weekly wrap covering all the news stories and happenings that took place this past week throughout the greater San Francisco North Bay. In Santa Rosa, detectives at the Santa Rosa Police Department's Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault team arrested a 28-year-old man identified as Koa Brooks, a resident of Santa Rosa, who was wanted in connection with several sexual assault offenses, including rape by force, rape of an intoxicated person, and felony assault likely to cause great bodily injury or death. After Brooks's arrest, detectives on the case discovered several more of his victims who never came forward to report his crimes to law enforcement. Because of this, detectives believe that there may still be yet more victims of this guy who haven't come forward, and they're encouraging anyone who was a victim of his to please step forward and call the detectives at 707-543-3595. According to the report, Brooks was believed to be contacting women through social media using the name of Ty or something similar to that. The investigation is ongoing, so some details in the case are still a bit unclear, but they do believe there are more victims of this guy who detectives are hoping will come forward. Again, if you or someone you know have been a victim of this guy, please call the detectives on this case at 707-543-3595. In Santa Rosa on Tuesday at about 8:30 in the evening, several calls were made to 911 from people at the scene of a vehicle versus pedestrian accident where a young boy who was crossing the street on the 900 block of Yulupa Avenue was hit by a vehicle and injured. When first responders arrived, they began tending to the 9-year-old boy who sustained significant injuries and was transported to the hospital. Police say the boy was in the crosswalk when he was crossing the street. The driver of the white Mustang who hit the child was only identified as a 41-year-old man from Santa Rosa. Thankfully, the man stopped and was cooperative with authorities. Police say neither alcohol nor drugs were factors in the collision, but they aren't sure about speed, which is all part of the ongoing investigation. The crosswalk where this incident took place does have lights that can be activated by anyone crossing the street, but they aren't sure if the boy activated them or not. Those details are still under investigation. Our best wishes go out to the boy to make a full recovery. Last Saturday in the town of Guerneville at about 11 o'clock in the morning, a 74-year-old man was out for a walk, and when he was crossing the intersection of Main Street and Church Street, another man also crossing the street at the same time approached him and then punched the elderly man in the face for no reason, which knocked the older man down. But that wasn't enough, because then the guy kicked the elderly man in the chest while he was on the ground and then walked off as if nothing had happened, heading towards the pedestrian bridge. Witnesses nearby called for medics who came and tended to the man. Next on scene were sheriff's deputies who gathered information from the witnesses about what the man looked like and where he went. Once they had that information, the deputies went looking for the guy, and sure enough, they spotted him still on the pedestrian bridge, so they approached him. But he refused to follow their commands and then became combative, so the deputies used a bit of force of their own to get him under control. Once they had him in cuffs, they identified him as 27-year-old Justin Hawkins, a transient in the area. Hawkins sustained a few abrasions and contusions during his struggle with the deputies, so he was transported to the hospital for treatment before he was hauled off to jail. He was booked on charges of battery with serious injury, causing physical injury to someone over 65 years of age, and resisting arrest. It was also learned that Hawkins had a warrant for his arrest out of Mendocino County, so that was added to his booking charges as well. The 74-year-old man that Hawkins attacked was also transported to the hospital for treatment. We hope that man makes a full recovery. Back on Sunday, August 9th in the town of Vacaville just before 2:30 in the morning, a 57-year-old man was riding his scooter along Alamo Drive and was hit by a car from behind, which caused him moderate injuries. But instead of the driver pulling over to see how the man was and call 911 for help, the driver sped off, so an investigation began to find out who that driver was. Well, thanks to some great detective work and the use of flock license plate reading cameras, they were able to identify the driver of the gray Lexus sedan that hit the man as 50-year-old Yvonne Montgomery, a resident of Vacaville, who on Wednesday this week Police paid a little visit to her at her address in town with an arrest warrant in hand and took her into custody, as well as another person who was believed to be in the car with her at the time of the collision. In the driveway was a gray Lexus sedan matching the description of the one involved in the hit and run with, you guessed it, front end damage consistent with hitting a man on a scooter. Both Montgomery and the person with her were arrested and booked into Solano County Jail on several charges, including felony hit and run. Montgomery was also on probation at the time, so she has additional charges pending. In Santa Rosa on Sunday, just before 8 o'clock in the evening, a young man driving a Pontiac sedan along Brooks Avenue, which is a rural residential area on the south side of Santa Rosa between Highway 101 and Petaluma Hill Road, lost his life when he lost control of his car and hit a big redwood tree. According to the police report, the young man, who was identified as 20-year-old Felipe Ortiz, was traveling at a high rate of speed down the narrow street just south of East Robles Avenue and lost control. His car flipped over and slammed into the redwood tree. According to the CHP, the car sustained major rollover damage and proved to be fatal for 20-year-old Ortiz. Also inside the car was a 16-year-old boy passenger who sustained moderate injuries, so he was transported to Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital for treatment. This is what the road in the general area looks like. It's a pretty narrow road with not much room on either side. Our condolences go out to the Ortiz family. Last Sunday in American Canyon at 12:45 in the afternoon, a 20-year-old motorcycle rider was traveling southbound on Highway 29, and when he got near Kimberly Drive, a 51-year-old man in a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck turned left from the northbound left turn lane to go into the Kimberly Drive residential area and hit the oncoming rider on his Yamaha sport bike. The rider suffered major injuries, so he was transported to Queen of the Valley Hospital in Napa for treatment. But because his injuries were so severe, he was then transported to UC Davis, where unfortunately he died of his injuries. According to police, the rider was not speeding and was going the appropriate speed limit, and that alcohol was not a factor for either of the two involved in this accident. Evidently, when the man in the pickup truck turned left across the southbound lanes of 29 to get into the Kimberly Drive area, he simply didn't see the oncoming rider and the accident occurred. Our condolences go out to the young rider's family. This broadcast is sponsored by Mike Larbury Automotive. 5-star ratings for all of your domestic and import automotive repair needs, located on Highway 12 in Sonoma. Mention you saw them here on KORK TV to receive a special discount. And also by Sonoma Paint Center, your source for all of your home and automotive paint and supply needs.
Transform your home or business with Sonoma Paint Center. As your local Benjamin Moore retailer, we've got everything you need to paint inside and out, plus top quality stains. Step inside our Santa Rosa location or visit us in Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now our newest location in Napa. From vibrant colors to durable finishes and required supplies, we'll help you bring your vision to life. Sonoma Paint Center, serving you in Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now Napa. Sonoma Paint Center, color your world.
Well, that's it for our weekly wrap. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We'll see you again on Monday for our weekend wrap. Remember, you can watch us on our website at KORKTV.com, or you can also watch us on Roku or Amazon Fire TV. To download our channel on those two platforms, simply go to watchkorktv.com. That's watchkorktv.com. Or in either of those platforms, just search for KORK North Bay TV and add our channel to your favorites. We'd sure appreciate it. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel by going to KORKTVchannel.com. That's KORKTVchannel.com. Or just search for KORK North Bay TV in the YouTube search bar and subscribe to our channel. We also have a free app for all smartphones, including iPhones and Android phones, as well as for both Windows-based and Apple-based computers. To download our app on any device, just go to KORKTVapp.com. That's KORKTVapp.com. We're always free to watch with no signing up or subscription, and unlike newspapers and most other news outlets, we don't have any paywalls. We'd like to wish everyone a safe, healthy, and happy weekend. Thanks for watching. We really do appreciate it.